Hello, my name is Jan and I have a question for you. Would you like to have a superpower of being able to map out all the steps, starting from the problem that you are inspired about solving and ending with the positive vision that you would like to achieve? And of course, all the activities which take place in between. Well, if yes, then here is a solution for you. The tool is called a theory of change, and it helps you to exactly map out all the steps, moving from the problem, understanding it, designing the solutions, inventing the activities, trying them out, then achieving some success, hopefully. If not achieving it, then going back to the activities, changing things, and then reaching your ultimate impact goal. So, why it's called a theory of change? Because in the beginning, at least, it's a theory. How you think you will be able to achieve those positive changes. And perhaps you're not sure whether those activities really fit into the picture, or you would need something else to address the initial problem. So, like any theory, your theory of change also needs to be tried out in practice and most probably modified before the theory really starts working. And there are even 2 templates for a theory of change in your toolbox, which helps you to plan, implement and communicate positive impacts of your work. So, how should you work with a theory of change? There are 2 versions of it, 2 templates. Let's start with version number 1. Work with it in a following order. First, define your stakeholder. Who is your key stakeholder group? Then the needs. What are the needs related to your key stakeholder group? Then the impact. What are the longer-term positive changes that you intend to achieve? Then the outcomes. What are the necessary short-term results to achieve your impact? Then the activities. What is your operational model to achieve the outcomes and impact? Then the preconditions. What needs to be in place to ensure your success? It's good to use this version of a theory of change if you don't have too much time or when you need to prepare a presentation for external stakeholders. It's quite easy to read and understand from an outsider perspective. Now let's continue with version number 2. It's more complicated because it uses even more the terminology from project management, like inputs, outputs and outcomes. Work with it in a following order. First, define your stakeholder group. Then, define the stakeholder needs. Then, long-term change. What is the long-term change you see as your goal? Then, outcomes. What are the necessary short-term results to achieve your impact? Then, outputs. What are the direct, measurable effects of your work? Then, activities. What do you need to do to achieve that? Then, inputs. What resources do you need for that? Then preconditions. What needs to be in place to ensure your success? It can be better to use version number 2 when you need to plan and analyze more carefully what your organization should do or has done. As a result of filling in either of the versions of the theory of change, you will be able to see and communicate clearly why and how you intend to create the positive changes you are inspired about achieving. And now, top 3 tips and tricks. Tip number 1. Fill in the theory of change in the order that I proposed, so that you start from defining the stakeholder group and their needs, then defining the vision and goals, then defining the activities and preconditions. Such order helps you to analyze which are the activities that really lead to change without having any predefined fixed ideas what the impactful activities could be. Tip number 2. A theory of change is a good way to place the information from the other tools into one place, for example from your problem tree, goal tree and beneficiary journey map. Tip number 3. If you have new people joining your team, you can use the theory of change to effectively introduce your organization and make sure they understand the big picture. You can also use it to communicate your organization externally, including public presentations. So, if you would like to design all the steps of your journey from understanding the problem to achieving the positive vision of your organization, then download the templates for a theory of change from the impact management toolbox. And I wish you valuable discoveries when working with the tool and increasing the positive impact of your work.